All right, good morning, Nigeria. Welcome to another engaging and insightful edition of Daybreak Live right here on Dominion Television. Today, the 12th of August, 2025, you are watching Daybreak Live. It's a brand new day full of possibilities, and I am Samson Balogun.
And I'm Oluwayemi Adelako. We are here to kick off your morning with uplifting start, essential updates and conversations that matter. We hope your week has been rolling smoothly, and we are here to keep that rhythm going.
Yes, and that will begin with a look at today's weather courtesy of NIMET. In Ibadan, temperatures are expected to hover between 29 degrees Celsius and 22 degrees Celsius, with light showers expected in the afternoon across the southwest, including Lagos, Akure, and Abeokuta. There's going to be scattered afternoon thunderstorms, partly cloudy skies, so maybe you have to keep that umbrella handy.
In northern Nigeria, such as Kano, Maiduguri, and Sokoto, weather should be mostly sunny with brief thunderstorms possible in the late afternoon, with highs reaching 36 to 38 degrees Celsius. If you're heading out, stay hydrated and sun smart. In the central belt, including Abuja and Jos, expect partly cloudy skies with isolated showers later in the day.
And talking about skies, with the skies covered now, let's set the tone for what's ahead of us today. First up is Daybreak News, your crisp digest of today's top headlines from Nigeria and beyond.
Next is newspaper headlines and analysis. We comb through front pages and unpack the stories shaping the conversations across the nation. Expert insight through no fluff analysis.
And then the big story, Voices of Tomorrow, Youth Power in a Changing World, in commemoration of World Youth Day being marked around the world today. So we x-ray how Voices of Tomorrow can be heard today.
We are honored to welcome Dr. Lawi James, the Director of Youth Ministries, NBC, to join us. He will help us explore the barriers, the bias, and build a blueprint for a more inclusive future for the younger generation.
And it's sure to be a rich, thought-provoking conversation, bold, necessary, and long overdue.
And we are only getting started. Later in the show, we bring you Trend Watch, your window into Nigeria's buzzing conversations, from street sentiment to trending social chatter.
So wherever you are, commuting, getting your morning started, or already at work, stay with us on this show.
This is Daybreak Live on Dominion Television, and the journey today is just beginning.
Yes, just beginning.
Good morning to you.
We begin with the beginning. Good morning to you.
Definitely.
Good to have you in the studio once again.
Same here.
You know, we've been talking about the current trend of the issue of Nigerian people with the hairlines. That seems not to be, you know, set for an end. As when you look at the current situation, first it was Kwam, and then just a few days ago, just another lady on a bomb hair, and then something also happened recently too. I think that was yesterday too. It seems to be a never-ending story when it comes to, you know, hairlines in Nigeria. Is there something wrong with the hairlines, or maybe the people? I don't understand, because we usually don't have this kind of you know, outcry that, of course, consistently, but now it's beginning to be in the last 1 week, I think we have had 3 different occasions where people have fled up on airlines.
Definitely. I think this is happening because of the contribution of both the airlines and, of course, the Nigerians. But this contribution is not a very good one. Looking at the fact, let's start from the known to the unknown. Because when I watched the video of this lady with Ibom Air, I mean, the air hostess did not allow her to come down off the plane. And then she was trying to say, Madam, let me drop. So when I read, I mean, some of the comments, especially the eyewitness account of, those that were there, the lady was asked, just like everyone else in the plane, to switch off, her phone. And then every other person, did that. But the lady said, my phone is on flight mode, so there's no need to put that off. That is wrong. I do not think that is right, because if you decide to fly rather than go through the road, you want to make your journey faster.
You follow protocols.
You follow protocols. Why do we keep talking about these things? I mean, these things are not. These videos are not good for the country, because these videos are online and everywhere. So on that part, I do not agree with what she did. If you want to fly with an airline, ensure that you are going to follow all the procedures. Let me move to the air hostess now. I mean, why did you block her? That can lead to confrontation, and that can provoke her. Because I tell you, let's not even talk about airlines now. You, myself, sometimes when you are going, or maybe you want to board maybe a bike or a bus or anything, sometimes the way some passengers treat you or talk to you, it takes a lot to say, devil, not today. You just allow it go. But not everyone can be patient. So now let's take it back to the airline now. So the air hostess, I think she should have done better. And looking at the video, the way she was pushed, that led to, I mean, her body being exposed, I don't think that is acceptable. Because she will go back to watch those videos and feel somehow about the videos. And away from that, she was taken to court and, remanded in court. I think that was too fast, because we just saw a case of, I mean, Kwamwan, just like you mentioned. And of course, he came out to apologize. And Nigerians are saying, if to err is human, can apply to Kwamwan, who is a popular person. Why can't we just extend that grace to this lady as well? She was wrong. I mean, with what she did. I mean
what she
put your phone on
was
flight
not
mode.
done unprovoked, actually.
Yeah.
She was prevented from getting down.
Yes.
Why would you do that? If you wanted to arrest her, you could have actually called on a security personnel to do that right on the plane.
Definitely.
And then she'll be escorted to the police quarters, which is actually in the premises of the airport. So if that wasn't done, I think, did you see the number of charges against her? I think that was about 5.
It's a lot. That's why 5. I say this thing in Nigeria.
They said she damaged cotton worth, I think, $2,500 which was on the plane. She damaged a wig of 110,000 naira and a few other counts. I mean, 5 count charges against her anyway. But then, in the long run, I for one believe that some of the things we do in Nigeria, we should always be use an holistic approach, and adopt an holistic approach to things. If Kwamwan could do it, and no one is saying anything anymore, why was the girl rushed to,
Kirikiri?
To Kirikiri.
That was too fast.
Was it because she wasn't popular? If she was popular, would it have been the same? I mean, we should not, do what we call selective prosecution in Nigeria. I mean, the law should not be a respecter of anyone. So if the girl is in Kirikiri now, I think Kwamwan should also be placed under arrest. Because, well, it was claimed to have also assaulted the pilot. I mean, so it's a case of assault,
When you even look at what the boat did, when you compare what the boat did, and then it's a lot. Though the lady also, by not, agreeing to put off her phone, you are putting the lives of,
other people in danger.
So I think it's similar. You are not allowed to do that. So she could have just complied. How many? It won't take forever for you to come down and then land. So she would have just done that, and then let's prevent all of this. So I think let's go back to the fact that Nigerians, when you decide that I want to fly, I don't want to go by road, I don't want to drive myself.
Follow protocols.
Make up your mind, you're going to follow all the protocols.
And to top it all airlines have actually banned the lady from flying.
I heard that she was banned for life. I think that should be reviewed. It's too harsh. It's too harsh. It's too harsh, really. We don't know what happened.
K1 was 6 months. You cannot fly for 6 months. Why for life?
Why for life?
I mean, what they did is a little bit different, but similar, because K1 also prevented the flight from flying. But for this lady, they had already landed. And, she wanted to come down, and she was prevented from coming down. I think in that area,
communication would have been the best thing.
There.
Tell her, for what you did on the plane, we have invited some security operators to talk to you, so you cannot leave. That could have been better. But trying to
at least she knows that at that point, there is no escaping. She possibly wouldn't have escaped from there.
Definitely.
So automatically, she would have to wait for the police
She know what
officers
she's
to come
done.
around. She know what she
So
has actually
apart
done.
from the lady, apart from Nigeria trying to follow protocols, even these officials, airline officials, I don't know. I don't know the kind of training that some of these people will go through. Because apart from the fact that it will take some level of calmness and experience, training too is very important.
I mean, also, if this lady eventually goes to prison and comes back, she's definitely going to sue. She's definitely going to sue them.
She's allowed the lawyer.
She's allowed
to sue.
Under the law, she will, because she was exposed, and that for me is against her human right. What she's entitled to under the law. So automatically, regardless of the situation, if the airlines are going to sue, definitely she's going to sue too. So whoever is going to win, let's see who wins more. But then, if she's going to prison, they should know that when she's back, she's definitely going to sue them.
And of course, I just hope that she can get judgment and we can have a stop to all of this. Why do we keep having videos of these? It's like a trend.
It's now, when you look at, and these videos are very fast on social media.
It doesn't portray us well.
So easily.
Bad news trend more when it comes to social media. You don't see those things don't trend as much as bad news.
Just hope that our FAN, NCAA, and other bodies involved will do the needful here and probably temper justice with mercy. Look at it holistically. If someone can get away with it, why not the other person? So, and if one person is going to be punished, they should all be punished.
Yeah, and the report of the eyewitness, and I'm very sure there are cameras. I mean, that must have captured what really transpired, so that we don't have this one said, and so they can look at it,
Yeah,
honestly.
And that takes us away from this segment of the show this morning. We say thank you for being a part of the show so far. So link up with us on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Dominion Broadcast, and on X, formerly Twitter, at Dominion Cast. You can drop your comment on our YouTube channel, subscribe to that channel, and definitely we're going to take them on this show. Watch us live on our website too, www.dominion.org.ng. We now go on a short break, and when we return, we'll take the news. We'll be back after this time out.
Ever dreamed of creating the next virus series or telling powerful stories on the big screen? This summer, your passion for TV can become a reality. Our TV Practical Summer Class is calling all future scriptwriters, producers, directors, video editors, reporters, news editors, and on-air personalities. Get hands-on training from industry professionals. Learn to shoot with professional cameras, master editing software, and produce your own content from start to finish. This isn't just a class. It's your launch pad. Don't just watch TV. Make it. Enroll now. Spaces are limited. Visit our website on www.dominion.org.ng or call the number 0706 777 9435 0706 777 9435. Dominion Television, your channel of choice.
Good morning. This is Daybreak News on Dominion Television. I am Oluwayemi Adelakun. The federal government has released funds for the disbursement of 5.1 billion naira in pension arrears to over 90,000 defined benefit scheme pensioners under the Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate, PTAD. This is contained in a statement issued in Abuja by the head of corporate communications of PTAD, Olubenga Ajayi. Ajayi said that the directorate had finalized the disbursement of the money. Ajayi said that the 90,689 pensioners across the 4 pension departments reaffirmed their dedication and commitment to pensioners' welfare. The National Identity Management Commission, NIMC, has announced that it has successfully upgraded the Diaspora National Identity Number Enrollment Portal. The agency disclosed this in a statement by its spokesperson, Kayode Adegoke, noting that the upgrade will help provide a seamless, robust, more secure, efficient and effective NIN service delivery to Nigerians in the diaspora. NIMC also reiterated that NIN enrollment is ongoing across all the centers in Nigeria. The federal government, through the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, has restated its zero-tolerance stance on human trafficking, warning all individuals and syndicates involved to stop immediately. Speaking to newsmen in Ibadan, Oyo State Commander Kayode Alfred described the crime as both a national security threat and a serious human rights violation. Alfred assured citizens that the agency will relentlessly pursue and prosecute all perpetrators, facilitators and enablers of trafficking unto justice, he served. The warning follows recent NAPTIP reports indicating a surge in trafficking cases, particularly across Nigeria's northern and coastal borders. The magistrate courts presided by Olagbemiru Adelaja, Satan Atiyagoku Ibadan, has adjourned the case between the Commissioner of Police versus Abiodun Bamigboye to 12 September 2025. At the hearing, a cross-examination was carried out on Elesomi Temitope, a staff member of Small Group of Companies who testified against the defendant, Abiodun Bamigboye, also known as Abi Trotsky. According to Elesomi's account, he said that Abi Trotsky organized and led some Somal casual staff in protests against their employer, Somal Foods, which led to the destruction of properties and left many injured.
It was a successful one in the sense that our lawyer was able to establish 2 points. The first point was to puncture the first impression by the claimants, that is the Somal Food Limited witness, that were the one who instigated the protest, that we had a meeting with workers prior to the protest, but that was able to be punctured by our lawyer. It was a successful.
All efforts to speak with the councillors proved abortive as they declined to comment. It should be recalled that Abiodun Bamigboye has been standing a criminal trial at the instance of Somal Food Limited because of a stance against casualization and other indecent labor practices. In business, 4 aviation unions have suspended their planned strike with a poor remuneration following progress in negotiations with the federal government. The unions comprising the National Union of Air Transport Employees, Air Transport Service Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, Association of Nigerian Aviation Professionals, and the Amalgamated Union of Public Corporations, Civil Service Technical and Recreational Services Employees, had earlier issued a notice to withdraw services. They also cited assurances from the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency that the new remuneration package would be paid along with August's salary. The union said the strike was being deferred on to the end of the month, pending further development, and urged members to remain hopeful as the situation unfolds. In sports, Shooting Stars assistant coach Akin Oluwokere slumped and died. Oluwokere is one of the coaches who were recently appointed by the 3SC. The former Sunshine Stars player and coach went down while in action, attracting medical attention immediately. The incident happened at the Deepwater Dino Stadium in Ijebu-Ode while the team was training for match day 2 of the ValueJet Cup 2025. It was then rushed to an undisclosed hospital where he was later pronounced dead. You can visit our website on www.dominion.org.ng to watch us live and interact with us. You can also follow us across our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube and LinkedIn at Dominion Broadcast and X at Dominion Cast. That's the breaking news. I am Oluwayemi Adelakun saying thank you for watching and good morning.
Ever dreamed of creating the next viral series or telling powerful stories on the big screen? This summer, your passion for TV can become a reality. Our TV Practical Summer Class is calling all future scriptwriters, producers, directors, video editors, reporters, news editors, and on-air personalities. Get hands-on training from industry professionals. Learn to shoot with professional cameras, master editing software, and produce your own content from start to finish. This isn't just a class, it's your launch pad. Don't just watch TV, make it. Enroll now. Spaces are limited. Visit our website on www.dominion.org.ng or call the number 0706 777 9435 0706 777 9435. Dominion Television, your channel of choice. Live from the heart of the action. Welcome to the nerve center of Next Level Broadcasting.
This is the OB van, where the studio meets the street.
Equipped with cutting-edge cameras, crystal clear audio, real-time switching, and broadcast control, we don't just capture moments, we deliver the experience live.
Anywhere, anytime, from stadiums to red carpets, breaking news to buzzing festivals, weddings, birthdays, and all sorts of ceremonies. We bring the world to your screen in real time.
It's not just a van, it's a complete mobile production house, a command center, a broadcast beast.
This is more than a broadcast. This is the OB van difference. Live, loud, limitless.
Ready to go live? Like never before. Book the OB van today and take your event to the world. One powerful broadcast at a time.
To book, call 0705 506 1061 or 0916 101 1061. Email marketing@dominion.org.ng or visit our socials on Instagram @Dominion Broadcast.
Dominion Broadcast, your channel of choice.
All right, I welcome you back. Thank you for staying with us. This is Newspaper Headlines Analysis. My name is Oluwayemi Adelakun. And of course, let's start with Nigerian Tribune. I have quite a number of headlines here. Let's start with the banner headline that says ValueJet Ibom Air incident. It's double standard. Justice must be fair, equal. That's coming from Peter Obi. That's the former presidential candidate of the Labour Party. And this headline asks its riders, please arraign female passenger. Court remands her in Kirikiri prison. Airline operators ban her from flying for life. Federal government to punish Ibom Air official who released passengers indecent video. It's a lot to unpack on the story, and of course, one thing that we must look at is the fact that she was remanded in Kirikiri, and that was too fast, for a lot of Nigerians. And of course, the reason why she was banned for life, Nigerians are still trying to get, to know that, and because we've had, some other incidents in the past whereby they were just banned for a few months, or maybe for a few weeks, or maybe for a few years. Why was she banned for life? And looking at the fact that, yes, she was wrong in some aspect of not trying to put off her phone, before the plane took off and even after landing. And so, she was definitely, sure that, she was going to face some penalties on that. But then when you look at the video, very critically, how she was pushed out of the plane, that exposed her body, that was really wrong, because by the time, she, steps out of the prison and then gets to watch back all of these videos, even her family members, her friends, I'm not sure they're going to be happy about what really happened. So it's something to look at, and I just hope that, we can, put an end to all, issues like this. Because it's not good for us as a country. If we keep having issues like this circulate online, international bodies, they are watching. There are better ways, to protect, the country. And of course, when it comes to Nigerians, if you know you're going to fly, definitely you must be ready to follow all the rules and regulations. And of course, to the officials, airline officials as well, and they must, I think some of them must learn, calmness and patience, in issues like this. Away from that story, let's also check this one that says, Tambuwal in EFCC custody, over 189 billion naira cash withdrawals. That's a lot to undo. Honestly, when it comes to the issue of politicians and EFCC, I have quite a number of comments. Sometimes we get to hear about the headlines, looking at us on the face, but then after a while, we don't get to hear anything about it. So on this issue, with the hope that the EFCC will follow through and we get to understand what really happened, and of course, they can, stop a lot of persons from going through the same line in the future. EFCC, there are a lot of cases with the EFCC. Sometimes, we just hear about it. Sometimes we don't get to hear anything, any longer. I'm not saying the EFCC is not active. Of course, they are doing a lot, and this job is a very, is a very intense one when it comes to, handling, issues around corruption and the likes. They are doing a lot. We've seen them, arrest people in parties. We've seen them, call some politicians, to investigate them and the likes. So we just want to get to the bottom of the matter. It's not about arresting these people. It's about, making sure that they're brought to book and then they account, for whatsoever it is that they have done. Away from that headline also, let's check this one that says, DSS arraigns 5 over 2022 over church killings. This happened, a few years back in 2022, and then a lot of people, were killed. They were massacred in the church, and of course, 5 persons have been arrested. When I read the story yesterday, I learned that these people, pleaded not guilty. So I'm wondering, how this is going to play out. Because some persons must actually, come and talk about what really happened. We must have, people who confess to what was done in that particular year. People died, and it was a gory sight. And of course, about a few months ago, there was a place that was actually, constructed majorly for the victims of that, of that Owo massacre, which was, trying to, one person was saying, I think a monarch, Dorset was saying, okay, I don't like the fact that, this thing is very close to my palace. I want it down. So there are still issues, concerning this Owo massacre. We do hope that this case will be followed, to the letter, so that people who actually did this gruesome killing or participated in this gruesome killing in the year 2022 can be brought to book. Away from that headline, let's also check this one that says, tinted permit, please extend enforcement till October 2. And this is for people who have cars who are still thinking or deliberating on when they want to get their permit. It has been extended up until October 2nd, and of course the Police Association, they are saying that, this is another grace, another level of grace. If you have not, done it, this is the best time. However, about a few weeks ago, Nigerians complained bitterly about the fact that, they are being exploited, just because they want to get their tinted permit. A lot of them get to pay online, and even when they get to the registration, center, they get to pay another money. So a lot of them want to know how they can actually tackle this effect, how they can, pay once and then they don't have to pay, another money again when they get to the registration center. So this is an area that they need to look at. People have also complained about the website of payment, that sometimes there are unable to access it. I think these are the areas that, the police association should look into so that people can register before October 2. Because, I mean, we've seen cases whereby people have been stopped on the road, not allowed to go just because, I mean, they've not, gotten their tinted permit. And of course, it's for the safety of everyone. So that's why when the government, or maybe when some sectors in the country bring up something like this, it is our responsibilities as citizens of Nigeria to actually do what? To actually follow through and, of course, do what we expect to do. Just like when we talk about, I mean, some activities and around the airport, when you want to fly, you're expected to follow rules. So if you know that you're a citizen of this country, and of course you understand that is for your own safety and for the safety of every other person, get it. And of course we can have a better society. Away from the story, let's also check this one that says Nigeria's health sector funded 90% domestically, says a minister. Speaking about funding, I think looking at this percentage, which is 90%, is a lot. And of course, even after that, Nigerians, or let me say, people in the health sector are still complaining bitterly about, their remuneration, about how they are being paid. Just recently, I read a story that talks about the fact that, some of them, their salaries were deducted, for July, for the month of July. And it's a lot to talk about. So can we have a situation, can we have a kind of system, I mean, that pays these people, better? Can we have a system, that, caters to their needs? And because we cannot keep talking about, doctors are leaving the country, nurses are leaving the country when the situation is not quite palatable. So if we need to, source for the funds domestically, I see the government, taking loans, I mean, from international bodies. Can we pump some of this money to the health sector? And of course, we can have a better society. Away from that, let's cross over from the Nigerian Tribune to Daily Global. I have this one that says, no truth in it. Presidency denies report of Tinubu's illness. It's a story that has been circulating online about the fact that, the president is ill, he's not been able to function properly, I mean, as the GCFR. However, the presidency has come out to debunk this. One thing I say is when we have rumors like this, when we have issues like this, communication is key. And I applaud the presidency for coming out, to debunk this, to say that, okay, the president is not sick, is very okay. And of course, people should disregard, that rumor that is circulating online. Because as Nigerians, let's not even talk about journalism now. As a Nigerian, you're expected to make sure that, you find out before you peddle some things online. It's not LD for us, because we are not just talking about maybe another Nigerian. We're talking about the president of the country. There are certain things that can put us, I mean, in a tight spot or any bad light. So let's ensure that before we talk about anything online, let's ensure that it is correct and, of course, accurate. All right, it's time to take a short break. And when we come back, we're going to look at, the major stories across the dailies. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. And of course, I'm joined by my analyst this morning, person of Kayode Awolere, who is a researcher and of course a public affairs analyst, and of course a scholar of politics and conflict studies, and of course he lectures courses on politics and conflict resolution in 2 different Nigerian universities. Welcome on board, Kayode Awolere.
Oh, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Of course, let's start from the Nigerian Tribune. We have quite a number of headlines to talk about. Let's briefly talk about this one that says Value Jet Ibom Air incident, it's double standard. Justice must be fair, equal. That's coming from a B because the police are arraigned the female passenger, and then of course she's in Kirikiri currently as we speak, and Obi is saying that is too fast. Looking at the fact that we had we talked about the issue of Kwamon over the week, like last week, and of course he came out to apologize, and then it looks as if that 6-month ban might not stay. We are not sure, but Nigerians are speculating. What do you make of this whole incident? Are being taken to Kirikiri, not allowed to actually talk about what really transpired at the airport. What do you make of that story?
Well, this social media is watched with this issue. People talking about double standard, yes, that the ordinary man is not being treated fairly, but when it comes to influential and celebrities, and the system has a way of pampering them and allowing them to have their way. But what I will have to say is that though the issues look similar in certain ways, but also different in some ways, if you ask me, I actually watched the whatever online. I saw the incident of the Ibom here and the unruly lady. I would say first, the Kwamon incident was not that violent. When I mean not violent now, it was not a form of physical assault, even though it was speculated that he actually poured the content of his the flask he was holding.
But he put the lives of people at risk.
Yes, that's why I said the two incidents appear similar in certain ways, but also different in some ways. So if you're talking about double standard, we also have to look at the context before we talk about double standard. Yes, the system has a way of pampering influential people, celebrities, but we should not be too emotional about this issue. We should leave sentiment out of this issue and look at the two issues objectively. Even though they appear similar in certain ways, they are also different in some ways. Like I said, the unruly lady that happened in the Ibom Air incident was violent. I was violent, and it will take a forceful evacuation or removal to get out of the plane. You understand, because of the action. She was seen slapping the air hostess of the Ibom Air, and she was not even allowing for calm or for decorum. The way she was acting, she was obviously physical. You understand?
I also watched the video, and I saw that the air hostess, things were still calm at that point, blocked her from coming down from the plane when the plane landed. Don't you think that provoked her?
Yes, that provoked her. Actually. But that is not enough or a sufficient ground for physical assault. She will have probably held her peace and allow the security to intervene. If they want to interrogate her, if they want to probably ask her to hold on for the security officials, she could have allowed that. You don't need to go physical. Then you explain your own side of the story. But that was not the situation. We saw her, she was physical, and even when she had to be evacuated, it was done forcefully because she was not allowing for peace, the way she was acting. But for that of Kwamon, you can see that it was a bit different, even though it was speculated that she poured the content of his flask, the flask he was holding, on the pilot. But I didn't see that in any of the videos I've seen. For that Value Jet incident, I've not seen that. The only thing I've seen is that, yes, Kwamon was also unruly. But
standing in front of the plane.
But standing in front of the plane and putting the life of the passengers on board at risk. But he wasn't involved in any physical assault. He wasn't involved in any physical assault. In fact, as a matter of fact, he even endangered his own life more by standing in front of the plane and obstructing the plane from taking off. So So the two incidents are different in certain ways. And of course, we should not also rule out the fact that the system has also, in a way, sanctioned him. He has been
but
placed
can you compare that? This lady was picked up from the airport after being pushed out of the plane, forcefully, and then she was arrested immediately, and she's remanded in Kirikiri. So looking at the fact that you said you don't see, Kwamwan's incident as being, unruly, or maybe maybe it was.
That's not the point. Okay. Kwamwan issue. The incident that happened,
you don't see it as violent. Okay.
Yes, Kwamwan was also unruly by his action.
Okay.
But it was not physically violent. You understand? Even though it was speculated that he poured the content of his flask on the pilot, I haven't seen that from any of the videos I've seen so far.
Do you think Kwamwan can be treated the same way this lady was treated? I'm sure you saw the video, the way she was pushed out. I mean, don't you think that was wrong, regardless of how she must have behaved?
Yes, you are right. Because we know there's a way we always pamper celebrities. Maybe I feel that maybe the security officials, at the tarmac when the Kwamwan incident happened, maybe they were a bit overwhelmed by his status, and they were not able to, act the way they did in the case of this lady. You understand? But we should not forget the fact that this lady was physically violent. She was seen slapping, causing serious cows, right there when she was still on board before she was forcefully evacuated from the plane. So we should not rule out that fact. We should, put that in context. Also, I'm not saying that the system has not been unfair in certain ways.
Okay.
But what I'm trying to say is that we should not just place the two scenarios the same way, as if they are exactly the same. Even though they are similar in certain ways, they are also different in some ways. And then we should not also rule out the fact that Kwamwan can still be, be prosecuted.
Okay, what about the ban? The lady was banned for life from flying. And for Kwamwan, we have 6 months. Don't you think that is too extreme, being banned for life from flying?
Well, the only thing I can say about that is that is still reviewable. That can still be reviewed.
Okay.
It was just it was a pronouncement, and the lady still can approach court and ask for damages, especially in the fact that the way she was removed, it was filmed, and that was also broadcast on social media, which was very wrong. Very wrong, at least for her dignity. You need to protect her. And according to different aspects of the law that I've even come across, you have to protect your customers in certain ways. So passengers are your customers. Immediately they are bought tickets to fly your jet, your aircraft, then they have entered into agreement with that particular airline company. Okay. So our dignity needs to be protected.
And the temperament of some of the officials too must be worked
exactly. So that, you see, I think the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority and all those who are responsible for managing our aviation system need to conduct a form of training, orientation program for their staff. They are dealing with human beings, and they need to work seriously on human relations. It's very, very important. They need to work seriously on human relations. It appears a lot of people are more frustrated now, given the hardship in the land, what people are passing through. Okay. So, and that is not excluding those who fly. Okay. You understand? It's like it cut across now, both the lower class and even those at the middle class, those who fly, regularly. So we need to work more on the officials, especially those who have physical interactions with those who fly. Okay. So that they can be more civil in the way they actually interact with passengers. That is one aspect. Okay. You understand? So we cannot rule out that. Then we need to conduct orientation program, and that has to be periodic. It has to be something that is regular. It's not just a one-off training or orientation program. It has to be periodic. It has to be regular, so that when they come in contact with passengers that are unruly or that appears a bit difficult,
yeah.
provocative, they will know how to go about the whole thing.
Right.
So that is one aspect that needs to be worked upon.
I think it's a good place to leave that situation. We do hope that we won't have a case like this, before the month runs out, because it's been, I watched another video just this morning that another passenger, was caught with Ibom, because, some of our loads were not loaded with the place. So these issues, we just need to come to a point where we can avoid issues like that. Let's talk about another headline.
Well, let me please say this. We cannot rule out that completely. We cannot rule out that completely. And that's why we need to have orientation for some of these airline staff so that they will be more civil in the way they actually, interact with passengers. Because it's a global issue. It's a global issue. I've seen even in Western world where people have encounter with officials of the airline and even officials at the airport, and there will be chaos, the disorderliness and everything. So it's something we cannot rule out completely, but we have to reduce it.
Because this is too much.
It doesn't have to be regular as we are seeing it presently.
All right. Okay. Let's talk about this headline on Nigeria Tribune that says tinted permits, please extend enforcement till October 2nd. And then before now, about a few weeks or a few months, I read that people are complaining about the website. Some persons are saying they cannot access it. Some persons are also talking about exploitation, that when they pay online, when they get to the registration center, they are asked to pay another certain amount, which they see as exploitation, because it's not supposed to be so. So the police association now coming to say we have extended to October. But don't you think it's time for them to look at the loopholes, concerning this old registration of trying to get the tinted, permit? Because a lot of people have been stopped on the road even before this extension. So, but this is the grace period to actually make sure that if you have not gotten it yet, this is the best time to get it.
Well, in respect to that, it's a national security issue.
Yeah.
Because from time to time, there will be need to conduct a kind of stop and check, and for the police officers who are on the road and any other security personnel, it may not necessarily be the police now. It is always good when you can see those who are in the vehicle, even without stopping them. So when you have the glasses of your vehicle tinted, that will not be possible, and that can be a major threat, in these days of high level of terrorism, high level of insecurity in our society, especially as we are dealing with high rate of kidnapping. We still have banditry to contend with, and it's moving gradually towards the south. You can see what happened recently in Kwara, where we have a bandit attack in one of the communities in Kwara. So it's a national security issue, and the police have to do their work. However, I do know that there have been some ways of getting permit before now. You understand? But if you want to go online, you want to digitalize the process, as the police is currently doing, then they have to work seriously on the website for application, because, as you know, majority of the people will want to meet up with the deadline. They will not want to be caught unexpected, so they will want to apply and get the permits within the time frame set for the deadline. So I think the police has to, work more on the website to, probably get experts in the ICT to help them have a very strong website that will not just collapse because of the volume of applications, as we are currently seeing. Because recently I heard the IG talking about extension of the application because there has been high level of compliance from the populace. So with this, they need to work more on the website so that at least the website will be very strong to accommodate for large volume of applications that they are currently having now.
What about the exploitation aspect?
For the exploitation, well, you cannot rule out that completely from our system.
Are we not justifying?
No, I'm not justifying that, actually. But what I'm trying to say is that if you are exploited, probably you are also looking for favoritism from the system.
Or a cheap price.
Or a cheap price, Because we should not rule out that, because sometimes Nigerians will talk about exploitations, but they will not tell you the detail the details of the of what actually transpired. So if you are not looking for any favoritism from the system, if you just want to apply and get your permit, then somebody is asking you for extra payment or illegal fee or something that is not recognized by the police authorities, then you can make your case known. You can make your case. There are ways of doing that. You can make your case known.
How effective is that?
Well, to talk about the effectiveness is another thing. But you should actually, as people are putting it in the public place, at least the media is talking about it. You can talk about it if you have applied genuinely and somebody is asking you for extra payment that is not recognized by the police authorities. You can escalate that, make that known that somebody is asking for unnecessary or illegal fee from you. So
there are claims that some top officials are even part of this, so they make sure that the lower officers, get this extra money that they tend to share. Because I'm talking about some things I've read online, some videos I've watched in terms of people who have complained bitterly about the fact that they pay online, and when they get to the registration center, they still pay more.
Well, if you have paid online, because it's not as if I've done this application myself, but if you have made payment online, and that's all you need to pay for to get the permit, and somebody is asking you for extra payments at the point of at the registration center, like I've rightly noted, then you can make a case. You can make a case. If you are not asking for undue favor, you can make a case, like I said. You can make a case. There are ways of doing that. You can make a case. Because you have applied genuinely, and all the fees recognized by the police authorities, you have made your payment online. I don't know the mode of payment, whether it's online too.
Yeah, you pay online.
Okay, if you pay online, if you have to pay online and you have made that payment, and somebody is now asking you for maybe payment of cash, because definitely exploitation will be through cash. You understand? Because those who are involved in that form of corruption will not want to be paid.
Will not take transfer.
Or transfer, you understand? Something you can have the receipt to show for, If you understand. So if somebody is asking you for payment through physical cash, and I mean cash, you can decline. You can decline. You can insist that if this is recognized by the police authorities who are in charge of this permit, then give me the account, let me pay into the account. So that will enable you to have a form of record.
Receipts to show.
Exactly, to show. So that when you want to make a case about this extra payment, about these unlawful actions of some people, because we should always avoid painting a whole system black. I'm very sure it is not all the police officers. Perhaps maybe some people that are involved in this process of getting permits. So when you make payment through bank transfer, or you pay it into an account, you can have a form of record that you can use whenever you make a case that you are being exploited. So I think that, in a way, should help to curb this exploitation.
Definitely. We do hope that after the extension, a lot of Nigerians must have gotten this permit. Let's also check another headline on the Punch newspaper that says, panic in ADC as EFCC goes after key members. And it says EFCC greets coalition member Tambuwal over 189 billion naira fraud in system probe. Key coalition members push back as anti-graft body summons 3 ex-governors. What do you think is happening? Do you think this is very political? I mean, just last week we talked about it, the Obasanjo library that was raided and over 90 persons were arrested. Nigerians are saying this is political. And of course now we are seeing Tambuwal over 189 billion naira. So are you seeing this as maybe the ruling party is trying to mingle or trying to distort some things within the coalition just to make sure the party is weak? And of course the members of the party get weak as well, emotionally and maybe mentally. Who knows?
Well, if you ask me, I would tell you that one of the major challenges that we have against, against the fights, in the fight against corruption in Nigeria, is because we often politicize the anti-corruption war. We often politicize the anti-corruption war. As a matter of fact, the anti-graft agencies exist, to fight corruption. And if anyone, especially those who have served or those who have held public office at one point or the other, you know, are found to have committed infractions, financial infractions, they can be interrogated at any time. Whether you are in the opposition or in the ruling party, it doesn't matter. So we should stop this issue of politicizing anti-corruption war. It is not helping the situation. It is not helping us as a country. It is not helping us at all. We often politicize anti-corruption war. It doesn't matter whether you are in opposition or you are part of the ruling party or you know the Mr. President or you don't know him. Once you have been found to have committed financial infractions while you are holding public office, you can be interrogated at any time. So we should always look at issues, you know, from the standpoint of merit, objectively. If somebody has been found to have committed financial infractions or any form of misappropriations, and the EFCC has invited that person or has called that person for interrogation, we should not politicize that. We should not say, they are trying to victimize somebody from the Fulani ethnic stock, or maybe because he's a Yoruba man, or because, he's an Igbo man and the president is now a Yoruba man, and that's why they are not victimizing him, or because he's not supporting Mr. President. That's not helping us at all.
Let's go to another way.
In this anti-corruption war.
Adams Oshiomhole one time said that once you join the APC, your sins are forgiven. And we've also seen cases whereby someone is in the opposition party and immediately they move to the ruling party. Some of the cases against them, we don't get to hear them anymore. And of course, there have been cases that have been long forgotten. But when these people leave the ruling party, for instance, you know, those cases are being recalled. What do you make of that?
It still boils down to what I said, politicization of anti-corruption.
You don't see that as maybe the ruling party trying to?
Well, you cannot rule out that. I'm not saying those who control the EFCC now, because it's under the presidency, and so once you belong to the ruling party, the party that controls the federal, then you may be. But that's not the point. That's not what we are saying. We may be getting it wrong if we say once you belong to the ruling party, then you are free. Your sins are forgiven. Because if you ask me, if that is the situation, why is the former Kogi State governor, why is he being tried? He's being prosecuted.
It's been tried, but we've not really heard much about the case. I mean, there was a time the FCC said they can't find him. And there was later they came out to say, oh, we don't have him in his cost, we don't have him in our custody.
But he was arrested.
He was arrested.
He was eventually arrested and interrogated.
But don't you think he's not supposed to be moving freely the way he does? There was even one time that the presidency, wished him happy birthday online. People are saying, this man that is still being tried with the EFCC, he's too free of a man, that has such a big case with the EFCC.
We should put in the right context.
Okay.
The fact that somebody is being prosecuted for corruption case or for having committed financial infraction do not mean that person is already guilty.
Okay.
The person is being prosecuted. You cannot convict him until the court of law do so.
What about the time frame of that matter?
No, it's another point. People have always been talking about prolonged cases at the court of law, but that is not even the issue with the EFCC now.
Okay, what's the issue?
That's not the issue with the EFCC now. I think it's not where we may blame the anti-corruption agencies in some ways, but it's not completely the issue now, because these politically exposed individuals, they also have a way of beating the system. They have money to throw around to hire big lawyers, senior advocates of Nigeria, who will help them to come up with all sorts of technicalities to delay prosecution, and to eventually get out of the whoop.
Look at how the case of Emefiele was handled. It was quite fast. Don't you agree?
Well, yes, you are right. But like I said, even the Emefiele case is still ongoing. It's still ongoing. We still have some issues that are yet unresolved that is still being prosecuted for. So what I'm trying to say is that we cannot rule out political influence completely. But we should not always emphasize political influence in corruption cases. Because when we do that as as members of the public, we are not helping the anti-corruption agencies. We are not helping them in the fight against corruption, because immediately we raise alarm that somebody is being tried because he no longer belongs to the ruling party, or because he has fallen out with Mr. President, or he has. Then we are also complicating matters for the EFCC. We should, as a matter of fact, as patriotic citizens, as someone who wants to build this nation, who want to contribute to the building of this nation, we should even offer information, if we have, to anti-corruption agencies to help them in the fight against corruption.
But don't you think Nigerians are maybe the stop or not too inspired to actually offer those information, looking at how some cases have been handled in the past? I mean, we've seen cases whereby, someone was actually, talked about that, okay, he embezzled this certain amount, and once the person moves to another political party, which is maybe the ruling party, we don't get to see or maybe hear anything about that. So now some Nigerians, just like some of the comments I read and from the conversations I have with people, they don't seem to have that trust in EFCC. Look at how, some guys were raided in the party twice in Abeokuta, in some parties, the way they were raided. So some Nigerians are saying that energy, can it not be transferred to how the cases of some politicians have been handled in the country?
Yes, it still comes back to what I said earlier. EFCC will do its own job, whether it belongs to a ruling party or not.
Okay.
You understand? So, as members of the public, we should not politicize whatever EFCC is doing. We should look at issues objectively. If anybody is being interrogated, what should be our concern is this person actually guilty of what is being interrogated for? It doesn't matter where it comes from, the political party it belongs to. That is a very less. That's not an issue. That should be, should be put at the back burner of the debate. Our focus should be, has this person committed what is being what he or she is being interrogated for?
Away from crime now, what about interference in party politics now? Members of the ADC, members of the Labour Party, and even the PDP, they've accused, the ruling party of trying to meddle, with their activities by causing some unnecessary chaos. I see your smile. What about that? Do you agree with that, or you have a counter opinion?
Well, I'm trying because it's funny.
Okay.
Nobody can from outside cause chaos in your own house if you put your house in order. That's what I will say about that. Nobody can cause chaos from outside if you have done the right thing within your own house. If there is that cohesion in your own house, if whatever movement that you have within your own house is organic. Yes, but you see, the problem we have with our political parties is that oftentimes our political parties are not organic.
Okay.
There are too many, where you always have tendencies within the political party, but the ability to manage those tendencies, within that political party is what matters most.
Unfortunately, I would have loved this conversation to continue, but time is longer on our side, and I do hope that the next time that we invite you, you grace this, platform with your presence.
No problem.
Thank you so much. Okay, we've been speaking with Kayode Awolere, who is a researcher and public affairs analyst, and of course, he lectures on politics and conflict resolution in 2 major Nigerian universities. Thank you for being a part of the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right, this is where we say our BYE, and of course, do not leave yet. A big story will come up soon. My name is Oluwayemi Adelakwa, and I'm saying good morning.
Ever dreamed of creating the next viral series or telling powerful stories on the big screen? This summer, your passion for TV can become a reality. Our TV Practical Summer Class is calling all future scriptwriters, producers, directors, video editors, reporters, news editors, and on-air personalities. Get hands-on training from industry professionals. Learn to shoot with professional cameras, master editing software, and produce your own content from start to finish. This isn't just a class, it's your launch pad. Don't just watch TV, make it. Enroll now. Spaces are limited. Visit our website on www.dominion.org.ng or call the number 0706 777 9435 0706 777 9435. Dominion Television, your channel of choice. Live from the heart of the action. Welcome to the nerve center of Next Level Broadcasting.
This is the OB van, where the studio meets the street.
Equipped with cutting-edge cameras, crystal clear audio, real-time switching, and broadcast control, we don't just capture moments, we deliver the experience live.
Anywhere, anytime, from stadiums to red carpets, breaking news to buzzing festivals, weddings, birthdays, and all sorts of ceremonies. We bring the world to your screen in real time.
It's not just a van, it's a complete mobile production house, a command center, a broadcast beast.
This is more than a broadcast. This is the OB van difference. Live, loud, limitless.
Ready to go live? Like never before. Book the OB van today and take your event to the world. One powerful broadcast at a time.
To book, call 0705 506 1061 or 0916 101 1061. Email marketing@dominion.org.ng or visit our socials on Instagram @Dominion Broadcast.
Dominion Broadcast, your channel of choice.
Good morning and welcome to The Big Story on Daybreak Live, right here on Dominion Television, the platform where we explore issues shaping lives and redefining the future. Today we turn our attention to the next generation and the undeniable force that represents in a rapidly changing world. I am Samson Balogun. Our conversation today, Voices of Tomorrow, Youth Power in a Changing World, centers on the strength, creativity, and resilience of young people and how their potential can be harnessed for national and global transformation. Leading this discussion with me this morning in the studio is our guest, Dr. Olawi James, who is a medical laboratory scientist turned pastor, teacher, conference speaker, life coach, and tireless youth advocate. With over 30 years in the ministry, he currently serves as Director of Youth and Student